A fragrance battle between a niche fragrance that was chosen by the readers of the Fragrantica website as the best men's fragrance of 2024 and its best known clone slash alternative. Parfum de Marly's Altair versus French Avenue's Liquid Brun. Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. It's time for your daily dose of some fragrance content and it's time for another episode of a fragrance battle. But again, today's episode of fragrance battle will be a little bit of a different one. Today I'm not going to compare fragrances that are from the same class. Today I'm going to compare a niche fragrance in the face of Parfum de Marly's Altair and what its best clone slash alternative, or the most well-known clone slash alternative, which comes from the brand of French Avenue, and it's called Liquid Brun. Now keep in mind, this fragrance battle may seem a little bit strange, but the reasons why I did it is because I wanted to share with you my thoughts on whether you should pursue or chase a bottle of Altair, which tends to be quite expensive, around about 230 euros here in Europe, or roughly $250 in the US, or maybe even over that mark, or you should go with something like Liquid Brun, which costs around about 50 euros in Europe, or around about $60 in the US. And the other reason is because why I'm doing this video is because Parfum de Marly's Altair was chosen by the readers of the largest fragrance database over the internet, which is called Fragrantica, to be the best men's fragrance of 2024. And in fact, its clone, funnily enough, actually made the top 25 when it comes to the best men's fragrance. So that's how good of a clone this actually is. But again, today I'm going to battle those two fragrances, and I'm going to try to answer the question whether you should actually chase and pay full retail price for a niche fragrance in the face of Altair, or you can safely go with its a lot cheaper alternative in the face of Liquid Brun. I'm not going to spend too much time talking about presentation, bottle design and stuff like that, because this can be highly subjective, but I can tell you one thing, the presentation, the box design and everything else looks, actually I prefer the way that Liquid Brun from French Avenue comes presented. It comes in a better looking, more luxurious feeling box compared to Altair. When it comes to the actual bottles though, Altair definitely has higher quality. It has a bottle that has a lot higher heft. You get a very hefty metallic cap, although you should keep in mind that newer batches of Parfum de Marly's fragrances have slightly lower quality. For example, they've lowered the weight on their caps for some reason, maybe to save some money. The bottle design of Liquid Brun feels nice in hand, but definitely Altair feels of higher quality. So when it comes to the presentation and the bottle design, you'll get better presentation from Liquid Brun, but you'll get a higher feeling quality bottle out of Altair. Now let's talk about the scent, which is probably the most important thing, scent and performance, which I'll talk about a little bit later. First of all, Altair, both the fragrances actually are not very complex scents, and Altair gets a lot of bashing for the fact that it smells at a very designer level. Although it's a fragrance that comes out from a niche brand and is selling at niche prices, a lot of people tend to bash it because it's of how simple it actually smells. And I can see why that's the case, because in my opinion also Altair doesn't smell very sort of niche. It's a very nice smelling fragrance, don't get me wrong, it's a crowd pleaser, but it just lacks a bit of that uniqueness that you associate with something from a niche brand. But at the same time, it kind of works. Now, both fragrances rely on a heavy dose of vanillic sweetness. In the opening, you'll get some spiciness, there's some cardamom, there's some cinnamon with both of them. Somewhere in the background, out of both, you'll pick up a sort of a floral touch that comes from an orange blossom note, which adds a bit of floral touch. It also adds a bit of airness in the opening, and maybe just a hint of freshness from something like a bergamot note. Now, the way that they differ to each other is the fact that, first of all, of course, Altair has slightly better quality. it feels softer, it feels slightly sweeter, and maybe just a hint more fresher compared to Liquid Brun. Liquid Brun feels a little bit more spicy. The cinnamon note in Liquid Brun is slightly more pronounced compared to Altair, and especially in the first few seconds, maybe up to a minute, this may feel a little bit harsher than Altair, but that's only when you compare them side by side. If you smell Liquid Brun on its own, you won't think that this is a harsh fragrance or the fragrance that has a harsher opening. On the dry down, both of them become a lot sweeter. The vanillic sweetness starts to get stronger and stronger. You get a lot of ambroxan, a little bit of a sort of an powderness from a tonka bean note, and also a lot of ambroxan, maybe a hint of musk from both of them. On the dry down, they actually smell very similar to each other. The opening is where they have a few differences. Now, if we have to strictly compare them and talk about quality, definitely Altair has slightly higher quality. It feels a little bit softer, it feels slightly better blended, there's absolutely no harshness or anything like that, and also this feels a little bit less spicy than Liquid Brun. So basically, if you compare them only by their scents and the quality, definitely the winner here is Altair, but the margin is very slim. Liquid Brun basically is a little bit more spicy in the opening. The cinnamon note is stronger and maybe comes off a little bit harsher in the first few minutes. Other than that, the opening of both fragrances is very similar, and then on the dry down they become very similar, and there's not much differences that I can talk about. So strictly comparing the quality of the scent, Altair is the winner, but by a very slim margin. When it comes to performance, both of them are very strong scents. Now, they're not beast mode, but they're strong. Both of them will easily give you, 8, 9, even up to 10 hours of performance without any problem, and I'm talking about performance on skin. On clothes, both of them will last for at least a few days. So performance wise, both of them are very good performance, strong performing scents, but none of them is actually beast mode. What I've noticed though is that Liquid Brun tends to project a little bit stronger, just a tiny little bit stronger, but I think that this is down to the stronger cinnamon, slightly harsher cinnamon note in the opening, so that may not be really that good of a thing. So I think total longevity is pretty much on par when it comes to comparing both of them, with Liquid Brun having a slightly stronger projection. When we talk about the pricing, here is where there's a huge difference. Parfums de Marly is a very well-known, very renowned niche fragrance house, and that means that their products are quite expensive. I think the official pricing of Altair here in Europe is around about 230 euros, which is over $250, translated into dollars. So this is quite an expensive scent. On the other hand, you have Liquid Brun, which nowadays tends to sell for around about 50 to 55 euros here in Europe. So that translates to something like $60–65 in the US. So basically, Liquid Brun costs around about a quarter of the price of Altair. So this is where they have a huge difference between them. Versatility wise, they're pretty equal. Versatility wise, both of them are fragrances that are more suited towards the colder months of the year. Both of them are men's fragrances, masculine fragrances, which in my opinion are very close to being almost perfectly unisex because of the amount of vanillic sweetness that they have. Both of them are more of an evening type of wear, more of a night type of wear, and so versatility wise there's no difference between them. And at the end, let me tell you which one is the winner of today's episode of a fragrance battle, and I'll try to answer the question: should you chase and pay full retail price for a bottle of Altair, or you can safely go with Liquid Brun? First of all, quality wise, the winner of course is Altair. It has a better quality, but not by much. It's a slightly softer, slightly easier to wear fragrance scent profile, but again the margin here is very slim. When it comes to the price per milliliter ratio, or simply looking at the best deal, price wise, definitely the winner by far is Liquid Brun. So I'll name Liquid Brun as the winner in today's episode of a fragrance battle, which may sound a little bit controversial for some of you, but basically it costs around about a quarter of the price of Altair. It has identical performance, smells almost identical in the air, quality is very, very high, and you'll pick up minor differences between them only if you try them side by side. On its own, Liquid Brun smells very, very nice and actually smells superb for its price tag. So that's the reason why I will name Liquid Brun as the winner in today's episode of a fragrance battle. But I'll elaborate a little bit more. If you value, original products, if you like the brand of Parfums de Marly, if you don't mind spending, quite a few bucks on a purchase from a niche fragrance house, then I think Altair is a good fragrance. It doesn't smell very niche, but at the same time it's a crowd pleaser, it's a compliment getter, it's a very easy to wear fragrance, and it's no wonder why people chose it to be the best men's fragrance of 2024. So again, if the price tag is no issue for you, if money are not an issue for you, then I would say go with Altair. If you want something that will get you very close to the original fragrance for a fraction of the price, something with very similar, almost identical performance, and if you value your money, you can safely go with Liquid Brun. I think it's good enough to be a replacement for Altair. Another reason why you should go with Altair, with Liquid Brun, excuse me, if you already own Altair but you want to save your precious juice inside the bottle, which is very expensive, again you can go with Altair just so you can have a backup bottle or something to daily drive and wear Altair only on special occasions. Again, at the end of the day, I think that especially value-wise, the winner in today's episode of a fragrance battle is Liquid Brun. And so guys, in today's episode of a fragrance battle, for the first time I battled out a original niche fragrance and its best known clone / alternative. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me tomorrow for your daily dose of some fragrance content. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.